Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's about to get more expensive to drive into the most congested part of New York City.
We have found a path to fund the MTA, reduce congestion, and keep millions of dollars in the pockets of our commuters.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
Under this plan, the MTA will implement a congestion pricing plan with a reduced daytime toll of $9 beginning in January.
The original plan was to charge $15, the money to fund mass transit. Meta forced to get out its checkbook to pay a European Union fine of almost $850 million over local ads in Facebook Marketplace.
Ever been on Facebook and automatically be shown things for sale near you when you weren't even looking for them? It's not allowed in Europe, and why EU regulators fined Facebook parent company Meta 787 million euros. The European Commission accused Facebook of exposing Facebook users to its online classified business marketplace, whether they wanted it or not. Facebook's also accused of stifling competition, ignoring what the EU says is a thriving European market for online classifieds. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The Library of Congress announced that Burt Bacharach's widow, Jane, is donating his papers, thousands of musical scores, including his arrangement of The Look of Love and sketches for songs including Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Bacharach, a Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner, died last year at the age of 94. I'm Richard Cantu, ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
And it begins. Who will be there in November lifting a championship trophy over their heads? Likely the team that paid the price through detailed preparation. For 6 straight years, the Malloy State Farm team has lifted the Best of Will County trophy because we paid the price through a detailed review process done on a weekly basis for each customer. When was the last time you heard from your insurance person? Maybe call the Malloy State Farm team at 815-463-5800 for your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, the Malloy team is there.
Save big money and add a stylish look to your bathroom at Menards. Max has a great selection of showers, tubs, and surrounds. Max's freestanding bathtubs combine luxury and practicality. They have a sleek design and installation is simple. Right now, Max freestanding tubs are on sale through November 16th. Don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Losing a loved one is never easy, and planning a funeral can be overwhelming. We at Farkas Funeral Home in Joliet are here to provide guidance and support for you and your family during this difficult time. We offer a cozy and relaxing atmosphere, and together we can create a beautiful tribute to your loved one. If you're in need of cremation or funeral service, visit Farkas Funeral Home at the corner of Jefferson and Essington in Joliet, or visit farkasfuneralhome.com. Farkas Funeral Home, offering peace and comfort to those dealing with loss.
Are you looking to buy your first home, but the current media news is making it very confusing for you? Hi, this is Chris Chernichik with ACB Mortgage Group, and in this market, you need an experienced lender that can guide you through the entire process from application to closing. Just call or text me, Chris Chernichik, at 815-412-0491, and let's discuss the options you have in getting into your next home or even your first home. Chris Chernichik, your home, your lender.
Chris Chernichik, NMLS number 339344. American Commercial Bank and Trust, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Edgy Tim is here. Coach Rod is here. The best high school football fans in the state are here. It's time for Pigskin Preview. coaches, players, fans, and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview, powered by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and John Wright.
And good evening and welcome. It is quarterfinal time, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? We are preparing for the quarterfinal round of the IHSA state playoffs. Unbelievable. The fastest time of the year, no doubt about it. Edgy Tim here along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Evan Bredesen spinning the dials, and we got all kinds of people flying around here tonight. So
getting crowded in here.
Gonna be a busy evening. So I will tell our usual regulars, the callers, we are very, very little time on actually taking your calls. We'll let you know if we get a little bit of open time. But in the meantime, sit back. A lot of guests coming your way. We're in the process of connecting with Dave Woodburn from Lincoln Way Central as we speak. Also expecting to join us, Jeff Reing from Wilmington, along with Francis Laughrin from Coal City, Jake Jorski from Joliet Catholic, and Coach Joe.
Yes, sir.
A new segment, get to know our new WJOL sports team member.
That's right.
Very exciting.
Sweet.
Someone you probably haven't heard on the air, but someone that we will get to know a little bit and find out about his background and everything else. So it'll be an interesting interview to say the least. This edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet, like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And our broadcast schedule is as follows. One game, ladies and gentlemen, one game, Saturday, 2:00 kickoff, Joliet Catholic at the newly renovated Peoria Stadium to watch the Lions host the Hillmen. So again, that is a 2:00 kickoff on Saturday. That is our WJOL game of the week. Joe, you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going out to the phone lines. Joining us is the head coach of your Lincoln Way Central Knights, and his name is Dave Woodburn. Coach, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
Doing well, Woody.
Well, welcome to November. I'm sure that
right.
It's starting to feel that way finally. It definitely feels like playoff football time of the year, no question.
Without a doubt. Yeah, we've been out there. The weather hit us a little bit yesterday, but we embrace that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you have to
do that or move. So
yeah. If it's cold and dark out, that means you're doing something right. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
No doubt about it. Got a chance to see you finally Friday night against Hoffman Estates, and really good showing, Coach. I think you had to come away feeling pretty good about the effort from your team on Friday.
Yeah, we after the a little bit of a slow start, we got kind of all three phases of the game going again, and that's what we had going against Maine West. So it's when we're all going in the right direction, we're pretty good. So I'm proud of what we're doing, and just looking forward to going to Bradley and playing against a great Bradley team.
Dave, Tyler Tulk came back and 282 yards, 5 touchdowns, and we've seen that young man. I know he got banged up in the Sandburg game a little bit, but talk about. I remember last year, or either at the coaches show, Luke Tingley. We talked about him a little bit, and I know he was a receiver last year, tight end, or maybe you split him out when we saw him against O'Fallon down at Illinois State, and against Sandburg when Tulk went out, he took the reins at running back, and I thought he ran the ball pretty well. Then they had that big receiver, and in the fourth quarter, you put him on him. He's kind of like a guy that some teams have, some teams don't have, but you can probably put him in any situation, and he's going to respond for you. Talk about him a little bit and the importance of him on the team this year.
Yeah, he was up with us last year,
right?
And mostly played receiver. Was starting to get the ball a little bit at some point in time towards the end, and he got dinged up early this year. He didn't play in the first 2 games, and he really just started getting healthy probably around week 4, week 5, and he has been a great addition to the backfield. He can be split out wide, and then like you said, he's a guy that we've been working on defense at certain times as well. So the fact that he's only a junior is exciting, and he runs downhill and runs the ball really hard. So he's been a huge addition to that running game that we got going. And then he's also capable of catching the footballs too.
I really was impressed with the defense on Friday, Coach. I mean, again, that's a Hoffman team that, as we talked about before and after the game with Nathan Cleveland, their quarterback. He can do a lot of different things, and you definitely don't want him getting out of contain. And you guys were really able to bottle him up and kind of derailed anything they were trying to do. Is it Ben Bernier, the linebacker?
Ben Bernier, number 5. Yeah, he's right down the middle of our defense there.
Yeah, he's a stud. Talk about his play, because I tell you what, he looked like he was literally in on every tackle on Friday.
That's pretty normal for that kid. Somebody's got to pay attention to him. He just doesn't have the measurables, but man, he flies around and plays sideline to sideline. I wish I could talk to you and explain to you the intelligence that kid has as far as football IQ goes. Our 2 inside backers make our job as defensive coaches really easy. Blake Richards and Ben Bernier. So many calls and checks and adjustments on the field. I'm glad you asked about the defense, because I feel like we talk about the offense, and I spend all my time with the defense. And those guys just buy into everything we're doing. We're always the last ones off the field. And we walk in on a Monday, and they already got the scouting report. Yeah. They're already dialed into what we want to do. It's impressive what they've done. And Ben's a 2-year starter. Hope he looks to go on and play later on. And he just wants to keep playing football. He loves it with his teammates.
When you're playing another team for the second time in a year, and obviously a conference opponent, do you almost go back and start from scratch? Do you kind of go back and re-scout everything off that last game? Or, I mean, what's the approach? Because I know in more cases than not, I think more often than not, the team that lost the game is generally more inclined, I think, to throw more twists and turns. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, Coach Cole, he does a freaking phenomenal job, and I've coached against him for a long time, just a slightly different ranking position for me, and they're just really versatile. He can do a lot of things. He's got so much offense, so we got to watch everything they do. We go back, we go back to last year, we go to this year, and try to anticipate what he's going to try to do. And quarterback's good. They got great skilled players. So, we really, actually, to be honest, we start with the most recent game and kind of work our way back, and then we'll take a look at ours. Excuse me. And then, there's a lot of games that you got to pay attention to and see what they do offensively and defensively. So, we know it's going to be a different game going down to their place, and they're a really talented football team. So it's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, you mentioned the quarterback, Gavin Cole, and the little bit of tape that I saw, and he, as you mentioned, Dave, that I think they've got a couple good running backs, they got a couple decent receivers, but it all kind of blends around him, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's fantastic. He runs the show, and I'm sure there's a lot of conversations at home between him and his dad, slightly different than us here at our household, because I'm on the other side of the ball, but you can just see they work well, and had to deal with his brother last year, who was actually absolutely phenomenal. And they just got a lot of speed on their team. The running back and the quarterback is going as well for them.
The other Cole I'm really impressed with too, the junior. That's I think he's a tight end, D end. Is it Calvin? I think Cole, very good player.
Oh yeah, 44. He's all over the field. There's like 1,000 of those Colts.
I know.
They're all great. They're all great football players, and Coach Cole does a fantastic job. His staff's been together forever. They make your life really hard.
Injury wise, you doing team wise? You guys doing okay so far?
Yeah, we got healthy, so we're firing on all pistons pretty much. Had some sickness go through the football program like everybody else, but we're all good now. Everyone's healthy, and just excited for tomorrow. Feel like it's going to be a long 24 hours.
Well, you won't find bigger fans of us than you guys, because you continue to play on Friday nights. So thank you for doing that.
Right. I think, well, it's going to change for one of us next week, but either way, it's been exciting to be able to keep Friday night lights going.
Yeah, again, I'm actually, Joe, we talked about this. I'm actually thrilled with the amount of Friday night games there are this year. Because Coach, we've gotten a couple of years back. I think we got to this round, Joe, and I'm pretty sure there were no games.
No, there wasn't.
Everything was Saturday.
If there was, it was way up north or something.
Yeah. So again, we certainly appreciate that. And again, Coach, just best of luck. Go get them tomorrow night, and we'll be rooting for you, and hopefully we get to bug you at least one more week.
Yeah, I'd love for that to happen. So appreciate you guys always, and thanks for calling and let me talk.
You bet.
Right,
Thanks,
good luck,
Dave.
Woody.
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Dave Woodburn joining us from Lincoln Way Central, Joe. And again, very impressed with the Knights Friday night. Everything we thought they'd be. Very well coached, very well prepared. They don't fool around. They're coming right at you.
Yep.
They're going to run the ball, come right at you. And that's what they do. And then we mentioned defensively, just play really hard, really good team. They even look like an East defense. Same size linebackers, and it's crazy. I'm watching this. I'm thinking, man, what's going on? But he talked about his two inside backers, and he should, because they're both really, really good players this year for them.
Yes, I was impressed with their defense, even though they got beat by Sandberg in overtime or right at the end of the game. But yeah, they're, as he said, they're healthy and they're playing well. And the only thing that I draw not a little question mark is playing at Bradley. We've talked about that many, many, many times.
Yep.
So
yeah, but
it's going to be a good game.
Should be a really good game for sure. We got a minute or so. Nah, you know what? We're gonna hold off on phone calls. Sorry, folks. Got it lined up. It's playoff time, and obviously, when the coaches are available, we're going to take them whenever we can. So if we have to give up an open spot, that's what we're going to do for to benefit them. I'm sure you guys understand. But again, I had a very busy weekend last weekend. I was able to go to maybe one of the top 5 playoff games I've ever been to last Saturday.
And maybe one of the quickest?
Pretty darn quick, Coach Joe. Pretty darn quick. First half, 0-0 at the half. Take out the time stoppage for penalties. It was 26 minutes for the first half. 0-0. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So. And again, I'm talking about Montini and Byron. Yeah, Evan's doing the math. It was that fast. Evan's doing the math. It's funny. Yeah, great atmosphere. They had horses. They had fireworks and guns and hookers and trucks. And they had, not all that, but they had a lot at Montini. It was a show, Evan. It was an extravaganza at Montini. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. You missed it, Joe.
Yeah, well, I
you had to go do a game. You could have hung out with me, but that's
Lincoln
okay.
Way West, yeah. Well.
Yep. Oh, and I was following that on the phone too.
Yeah.
Way to go, Coach Joe. I'm blaming you for that one.
Yeah.
So
I'll take it.
But again, West, heck of a year.
Yes.
Had them, let them off the hook. But again, Joe, that program continues to move forward and make progress.
If Lincoln Way West, and I mentioned to the guys that for the first 20, that was probably the best 21 minutes I've ever seen Lincoln Way West play.
Yeah.
The first 21 minutes.
Sounded like it.
I mean, they were, they really had it all going, and all of a sudden and they brought the sophomore quarterback in for Batavia, and he just started.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, like I told you, he really hadn't played till recently. Because of injury. So that obviously changed a little bit of their offense, no doubt about it. All right, we'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll go down to Wilmington, talk to Jeff Reing, head coach in charge of the Wildcats. You're listening to the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
And it begins. Who will be there in November lifting a championship trophy over their heads? Likely the team that paid the price through detailed preparation. For 6 straight years, the Malloy State Farm team has lifted the Best of Will County trophy because we paid the price through a detailed review process done on a weekly basis for each customer. When was the last time you heard from your insurance person? Maybe call the Malloy State Farm team at 815-463-5800 for your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, the Malloy team is there.
Every other Thursday at 9:30 a.m. is Law Day on WJOL, brought to you by Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel, where you will hear legal information every family should know regarding estate planning, wills, trusts, and the ins and outs of legal issues in family courts. You'll hear what to do and what not to do, and tips to help you navigate the court system, all with the attorneys from Rathbun, Cervinak, and Kozel. This Thursday, 9:30, right here on WJOL, 1340, Will County's News, Talk, and Sports.
Got a problem with your car? Call in this Thursday just after 9 a.m. and get answers from the experts. Every Thursday, the experts from the service department at Darcy Buick GMC will honestly answer your questions about any vehicle, any make, any model. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday after the 9 a.m. news, brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Listen right here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
We've all heard it takes a village to raise a child. When biological parents are unable to raise their children, grandparents and other caring relatives often step up to help. Will County Seniors is here to help them. Will County Seniors Program, Grandparents Raising Grandchildren Plus, better known as GRGC, partners with these non-parental adults who care for children and helps these extended families access the community services available to support them and the children they care for. The GRGC Plus program helps with resource referrals, funding for services and other expenses, and connects you to other grandparents and relatives raising children. Children and the kin that raise them deserve a village that cares. GRGC Plus provides that village. Call Will County Seniors, also known as Senior Services, at 815-723-9713 to learn more about the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren Plus program. Call 815-723-9713.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back to the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodagero and Evan Bredesen here, and we are excited to welcome in the head coach of your Wilmington Wildcats. Joe?
Yes.
Hitting the road this weekend, the Wilmington Wildcats are. They're loading up that yellow rocket and going to head a little bit north and a little bit west.
Yeah.
And then a little bit more north and a little bit more northwest. And they're going to wind up in lovely Pecatonica. Joe, I hear Pecatonica's lovely.
This time of
year.
Okay,
it's the place to be.
The trees are changing color.
They do have trees. There's a few.
All right.
But welcoming in Jeff Reing. And Coach, welcome aboard. And always great to talk to you in mid-November.
Hey guys, yeah, I really appreciate you having me on, and love being involved in the playoffs, especially quarterfinal time. Great to be out there practicing with the kids, putting together a game plan, and having a good week of practice. Then going against a very good Dupac team. Excited to be going to a new place, no doubt about it. And all the times that we've been fortunate to be in the playoffs, it's always exciting to go somewhere new, and so we're looking forward to the challenge of going over there.
I was driving by. I thought I heard an air raid siren today around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Was that you guys getting ready for pass defense or what?
No, I don't know where you got that.
No, I thought I heard it.
Okay, not bad. No.
They obviously present a different test and a different challenge.
They really do. So Coach Hoffman, this is his kid. Cooper, multi-all-state kid. He can run it. He can pass it. He is calm in the pocket. He can extend plays. But it's the same thing. You get into the quarterfinals. The other teams they're going to have 2 or 3 kids that are just outstanding. And Dupac has that. They have nice receivers, a couple nice receivers. They do a great job with their scheme. Coach Hoffman has got those guys playing well. But his son, the quarterback, he's a special kid, and we got a great challenge there in front of us trying to contain him.
They play obviously in a very good conference. It is a smaller school conference, but still a very good conference in the NUIC. And Coach, we talk about it all the time, and I know others do as well, about being playoff tested and ready. And in your eyes, I'm going to assume this team is pretty playoff challenged and ready.
Oh yeah, more from us or from them?
From them.
by all means. And when you're playing Lena Winslow, they ended up the year playing Seneca, but you're going against Galena, and people. I totally agree with you that if you look at the enrollment thing and hey, they're a 1A school or they're smaller, and boy, is that the worst mistake you can make? 'Cause that football up there and that part of the state is just really good football, and it's physical. It's coming at you, and so it's a great league. And so, they are battle tested, no doubt about that. We got a heck of a job in front of us.
But on the flip side, I think about it, and I think of what your team has been able to do this year, and the makeup, and the way you guys come out in your approach. They still got to stop you.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of comes down to in the bottom line now, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's definitely two different philosophies.
Yeah.
Okay. Is they want the ball. They want to get it. They want to get as many plays as they can. We're with us. We're gonna, we're very simple, obviously, in our offense and what we do. We try to be very good with what we do, but we want to make sure that we have that time possession on our side. We want to make sure field position's correct. We want to win those battles, and so definitely two different philosophies going at it, and no doubt our best defense is having our offense on the field, keeping their offense off. And
that's exactly right.
That's going to be a huge goal for ours on Saturday.
Jeff, we're talking about Dupek, and Hoffman is a tremendous athlete, and he's a threat to run the football too. Is this team maybe one of those teams that you've played even in the playoffs that is the most balanced team you've ever played, or one of the most balanced team running and passing the ball?
Yeah, I would say so. I think the thing that gets you is when you first hear about spread and hey, this team runs the spread offense. You think right away that they must pass it all over the place, and the Hoffman kid can pass. But they're also very patient with their run game. I mean, they have patience with that. They got some nice kids, nice athletes running the ball. And then your changeup guy is the quarterback, and so not only can he pass it and run it, but he's one of those guys, and we all come across. We've seen guys like this. You can defend him, but he's athletic enough to get out of situations, and so. Definitely, I would say is he'll be one of the best kids we've gone against. But team wise, very balanced, and like I said, I keep saying it, but a big challenge for us defensively. Hopefully, our speed can help us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So what is that, about a 2.5, 3 hour bus ride?
Yeah, I think 2:20 is what it says. So we'll be up in Adams Saturday morning, enjoying our bus ride through northern Illinois.
Oh yeah, I've done that one a few times. Yeah, I know.
But you know what? There's also excitement. When you're going somewhere, and it'd be a great experience. We get to see. We've never been into the playoffs to that part of the state. Maybe once in 2000, I think, all the way back to then. We played Fulton up that way.
Yep.
But we love playing at home. There's no doubt about that. But there's also excitement going on the road. Our fans will support us over there. I'm sure they'll have a great crowd, and this is why you do it, guys. This is why you do all your work in the summer. Our season's gone very well. We're fortunate for that, and now you get these opportunities to play great teams.
I believe they're on turf, correct?
I don't think so. Actually.
No.
I think they're still natural grass.
I know most of that conference is still grass. And I thought I had heard there were a couple that were starting to flip it over, but well, I guarantee you that'll be the driest track maybe in the state of Illinois on Saturday. What do you think?
I would say they would definitely want that speed working for them, and that grass will not be high whatsoever.
No.
I would not. No. Yeah, it'll be nice and low.
Yeah, they're probably like my next door neighbor Kurt. They're out there cutting it every single day, every day.
Well, you don't have too many slow guys though. Either,
no,
Jeff.
No,
you don't either. So
nope.
Yeah, no. We've been fortunate to have good speed, and our running backs obviously are the big part of our team, but our offensive line and just overall our kids playing well together, I think, and. I've been real happy with our senior leadership, especially coming off last year's state championship. How you're going to come back this year. You got to replace a lot of good kids. And boy, our seniors really have stepped up and guided us, and our offensive lines come together here in the last 4 or 5 weeks and have really gelled and so I think we're playing our best football. We're going to need that kind of effort going against a very good Dupac team, but I like where our kids are at right now.
Jeff, I got a question as far as health is concerned. When we go to do games on the radio and I look at teams and how many guys go both ways and stuff, and you have quite a few guys. How do you? I mean, I know a couple guys were banged up in the middle of the year, and and they've come back. And first of all, how do you keep the guys healthy, especially like during the week? Maybe limit them a little bit, but again, you got to have those guys on the field to practice. And how is the health overall in the team?
Yeah, no, the health's been good. We're fortunate, and like you said, we've been through a couple of weeks there of injuries that we had to work ourselves through, and just going back to how do we handle ourselves during the week? This time of the year we're not beating up each other, no doubt about that. We're taking the physical part out of it. When we're blocking and doing things, very very little life, a lot against bags and things along those lines. You want to keep your kids timing, but you got to keep them healthy. I think one thing I like with our staff. When you look at the starters, it's no doubt we got a lot of kids playing both ways. But I also think we got guys that can come in and rotate. And I think that's going to be a big part of the game Saturday because they do a good job of. They only have three kids, maybe 4 going both ways. Okay, so when they're on offense, they don't mind going at a high pace, trying to get you to tire out. And so I think we've got some depth to where kids can come in and spell some of our starters. I think that's going to be a big part of the game. But and you guys know that, as you go through your season, maybe a junior at the beginning part of the season, he was doing okay, but all of a sudden the light bulb starts to go off. Okay, hey, we should start to play that kid a little bit more.
Yep, right.
Maybe we can play that kid a little bit more now. And I love the playoffs and being able to bring up younger guys
Underclassmen.
to help you practice. Boy, is that something I think that has really helped our program. Here we are in our 3rd week, and we have sophomores now that have been practicing with us for 3-4 weeks, even some freshmen. Well, they start to get the varsity feel. They start to get used to the speed, and they watch the seniors and the juniors and know those expectations.
Well, we talked about, I think the last time we had you on, I mean, even those backups have that playoff experience. They've been through it. They know what to expect. And Jeff, that's a huge advantage.
No, it is. And when you go into situations like this, you hope that can help you. When you're going into a game at Dupac and just handling yourself overall, in the playoffs. And Dupac's, their kids been through the playoffs too and stuff.
Yep.
But you're exactly right. I think us having the success we've had, first off, you set those expectations, but you just get to practice and play more football, during the fall here, and it's just a lot of positives come for with your younger kids.
Well, again, you have in a 4-year period, let's say you go to three quarters and a semi, that's almost a full season extra of football you're getting. If you look at it that way.
It really is. And the experience you gain from that is great. And not only that, but, the community's, fired up right now about it, and they've grown up watching it. Now they're a part of it. And just like I said, just a lot of positives from that standpoint, and you can't get enough football right now, so it's great.
Yep. All right, my friend, appreciate it. As I said before, I hope we're here to hassle you for at least another week, and go get them.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good luck, Jeff.
Hey guys, I really appreciate the coverage. All right, thanks.
No problem. You bet.
No problem. Yep.
All right, Jeff Reing drops off, and yeah, guys, that is going to be a terrific game on Saturday. We got a couple minutes, 815-254-7300. If you want to get in, we got a couple of old minutes here. Let's go. Should we talk? Yeah, I guess we'll talk area games. Evan, we'll throw you on a mic as well. 8A, obviously, Lincoln Way East, they are at home Friday. 6 o'clock, is it? Yeah, no, 7 o'clock start, Lincoln Way East. Hosting Stevenson. Joe, thoughts?
Last week's game, I think Minooka did an outstanding job in the first half. Frustrating Jonas Williams. The offense made their adjustments. and he was lights out in the second half. I mean, he was scrambling around way too much. And again, they probably had, if Z was going to grade that, I would say, Evan, would be a C, but they still scored a lot of points. I just think Stevenson does not have enough offense.
No.
Because that defense edge, they suffocated Minooka.
Yeah.
They absolutely suffocated them.
Evan?
Well, Coach DeVornar would rank that probably an F based on just what I heard walking by as we were leaving the game.
Yes.
He was
Not too happy, was he?
You would have thought they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well.
that's pretty much the way he and the coaching staff were treating it, at least as we were walking off the field. And there were a lot of dejected faces just in terms of they were not happy with the way they played as a team. I mean, that first half, there are some things on tape that I can guarantee you from that first half.
It's going to come back.
It's going to come back. Other teams in A are going to look at that and are going to steal some ideas and enhance some things. So there's a counterpunch that's got to come. And I think we all know, and you know this, Coach, as you get deeper in the playoffs, you got to make that adjustment sooner than halftime.
Right.
I mean, and they were trying things, and they were trying to find the right thing, and halftime gave them enough time to figure it out. But you gotta have the counterpunch ready before halftime, because if you wait till halftime and you fall behind to some of these teams, you're going to be in trouble.
And you mentioned it last Thursday, Evan, when we talked about the game, that Minooka's got to throw the kitchen sink at them. Well, defensively, they did.
Yeah.
They ran 3-man fronts, 4-man fronts, 5-man fronts. They had I'm not going to call them, spying on the quarterback, but they had their 2 outside linebackers at times. Every time Jonas Williams tried to scramble like he can, there was a guy right there. And that was kind of frustrating in the first half, I believe, to him. And I thought he tried to go deep a little bit too much in the first half, even though a couple balls were dropped. But they did. That defense threw the kitchen sink at him in the first half.
Bradley hosting Lincoln Way Central. I mean, I'll go with Central, but with Bradley, you never count them out anything.
No, not at home. Not in their own backyard. That's going to be a tough game.
It should be a tough game for sure.
I think you take the ball early in that one if you're Lincoln Way Central. Try to get Tulk going because you don't want to fall behind. That offense is not built to play from behind. So especially at Bradley, if you can get up, take that crowd out of the game, play in front of the scoreboard instead of behind it. I think that's kind of what you're going to probably see Lincoln Way Central try.
I agree with
We'll hold off on JCA Peoria. As far as Morris taking on Morgan Park at Gately, 4:00. It's a pretty good Morgan Park team. Went back and watched their win over Metamora. They struggled a little bit early. Give Chris James some credit, made some nice changes, some adjustments, and then Morgan Park blew their doors off. And the one thing that really stood out was Morgan Park's team speed, which we always assume they have speed, but when you see it on tape, blowing by kids from Metamora, pretty impressive. And if I'm Morris, I'm real concerned because this team can score in a heartbeat.
Did you hear the story about Morgan Park?
What about?
The team got up to go to Metamora. The bus was gone and the bus driver.
They got up the day of the game because they stayed in Metamora. And
they did.
They stayed in Blue.
They stayed near.
Yeah.
They stayed nearby,
No,
and they got up the morning of the game, and they went out to go get on their bus, and their bus driver was gone.
Should have told me. I would have got a hold of Chris James. You would have had him on the show.
And from what we were told, there was literally kind of like a scramble to find alternative transportation to get them to the game on time because the transportation they were supposed to have
just bailed.
Wasn't there when they woke up in the morning.
Yeah. Well.
Wow.
The joys of being a high school football coach.
Joys of being in the Chicago Public League. There's no doubt.
Joe told us the story back from when he almost literally ended up on the front page of the paper, getting into it with 2 inspectors from the state of Illinois over the bus he was using.
Wow.
Oh my
State
word!
Finals in 1990.
Is that for the on-demand show that we're gonna do?
Oh yeah, that's for the podcast.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Man.
All right, step
Only
aside.
time Dave Douglas was ever afraid of anybody.
That was the only time we couldn't find Coach Douglas.
Step aside and take a break. A brand new segment. Meet our new member of the WJOL sports team. Very excited. He is in studio right now, and we'll reveal exactly who that is. You're listening to the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Well, Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, and at Morningstar Mission, we believe that no one should go hungry, and especially during Thanksgiving. So we've been working with the station
We've been asking you to jump online or to call and make a gift to provide meals and care. It's not too late. In fact, we're here to ask you to continue to give so that we can meet the need this Thanksgiving season and really throughout the holidays. It's $2.48 to provide one meal and care at Morningstar Mission. So if you do the math out, it's simply this: $124 is 50 meals, $62 would be 25 meals. So what we're going to ask you to do is to jump online. You can make your gift directly at morningstarmission.org. That's morningstarmission.org. And when you provide a meal, you're really starting the process of bringing hope to those that are simply hungry. And the meal is the way it starts. So would you continue to give? Be as generous as you can and give at morningstarmission.org.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number: 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Are you struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Michelle Kerfin handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else and more money too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen and get to a better state with State Farm. Find Michelle online at insurewithmichelle.com. Join us for the big game when the Monsters of the Midway play their hated rivals from up north this Sunday, November 17th. Kickoff is at noon. Catch the game with me, Scott Slocum of the WJOL Morning Show, along with the world-famous Hooters girls. One lucky winner will win their choice of a Caleb Williams or Jordan Love jersey. See you at Hooters in Joliet this Sunday from noon until 2 for exciting football, ice cold beer, great food, trivia, prizes, and tons of fun. Hooters, the original wing joint.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the quarterfinal edition, 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodagero.
Yes, sir.
Evan Bredesen. Boy, Evan Bredesen all over the place today, Joe.
Yeah, he is.
Joe, I don't like this because I can't really see you. And this mic is booming loud, so I got to watch how loud I am on this mic. All right. It's a brand new segment. Why? I don't know. I just felt like a new segment.
Okay. You're the boss.
You can tell I talk a little louder than you do usually. Yeah, you can tell. So I thought, what the heck? We have a new member of the sports department. What's the best way to phrase his heavily unpaid intern? Is that fair? Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But he is the game of the week intern for 1340 WJOL. If you follow the WJOL Facebook page, which all of us olds do, by the way, Daniel, us old to follow Facebook big time, you can see his handiwork there. It takes some photos, takes some videos. You get to see teams running in, and that's all Daniel. So, Mr. Dwyer, welcome.
Well, appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
Well, appreciate all the hard work you've done. So how's it been going so far?
Great so far. I mean, amazing to take videos and especially on media and just for the people at home to see and just see these boys running out every single Friday and Saturday.
And if you haven't been on a sideline in a while, this is about the average age of the media person working on the sideline.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. It's become a world of Instagram and TikToks and everything else, and it's extremely popular. I mean, I know guys that have started networks basically just putting up pictures and videos, and they're becoming very wealthy by doing it. So it's kind of where it's going. And again, give Scott, everyone at 1340, a lot of credit for kind of picking things up there a little bit and getting a young guy like Daniel involved. And yeah, it's it's great to see. How's it like working with these three knuckleheads? Well, one knucklehead you know very well, and I'm sure you got to be very careful what you say about him because you have to drive home with him, and that's
no, he
never
doesn't.
good.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Never comfortable. So who's the nicest of the three?
Wow, I mean that's wow. Well, it's definitely not this guy over here. We'll include him over here.
Pointing to his dad, Dave Dwyer. Okay. No, just do they already have you running and doing things for them? Are you like fetching popcorn and drinks for them yet?
Oh,
or no?
oh yeah. Oh, that's been a thing for years.
Are they tipping you?
Nope.
No tips, nothing.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Oh,
what did I tell you on Friday? I gave you the money, and I said, "What? Get yourself something for yourself." That's
fair. That's fair. That's
I gave
old,
him
that's old code for tipping.
Edge.
okay?
I gave him $50, and I got $1 back.
You did not $50. Are you kidding?
It was 20.
I can hear Debbie right now. Passed out.
No.
You gave him what? So they're running you. They're making you go get different things. Okay.
For Evan, it's anything but a red Gatorade.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Very good. So do they have special orders already? Is there like, does Joe have to have something every Friday night?
Always got to get Joe water. That's
popcorn. No.
Oh,
it's hard to talk and eat popcorn.
Well, that's
that's
his dad.
Always got it. If there's no hot food, hot dog, sausage, anything like that, it's got to be a popcorn and a red Gatorade.
Popcorn and a red Gatorade. Okay. Evan, no.
Anything but red Gatorade. Anything.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what flavor, just not red.
Easy.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, we're both easy except for
What's been your favorite game so far?
Wow.
Well, come on, man. What else am I going to ask you? I ask you about school. Come on.
Man, I gotta say, week 9,
Really?
last game of the year, Providence and JCA.
Okay.
That is probably the most highest capacity I've ever seen anything.
Filled
I mean,
with
there was
people?
no more seats left.
Yeah.
They were around the track and the field and everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's got to be it.
No fun week 1?
Oh no, week 1 was good. That was a good start. That's actually where it all started. But yeah, but I'd say week 9 was probably the best
Yep.
one.
Good. Are you like popular now? Are you signing autographs to your classmates or not?
No, actually, I don't know if any of my classmates know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd keep it kind of low key too.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest
what
with
I do.
you. Yep. That's cool. Good. You're a freshman, right?
Yep.
One of the area schools. We'll leave it at that. It's up to you if you want to say where you're going. If not, that's cool. How's freshman year? How's it going?
Freshman year's been it's a ride so far. I got, of course, finals coming up in about a month and a half.
Yep.
Getting a little nerve wracking, but it's not
okay.
there yet. You got the holidays coming up soon, so freshman year it's going pretty good.
You're getting through it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Favorite class so far?
Wow.
Come on, man. These aren't hard hitting
Gotta
questions.
go,
I don't think.
Gotta go biology. Probably.
You're a science guy, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. It's nice and easy. It's like short and it's easy to learn.
Okay.
For me.
Okay. I told you what class I struggle with.
Yep.
Well, I struggle with a lot of things if you listen to the show.
Sure.
But yeah, math was not my thing at all. I still dislike math teachers to this day. So.
Oh, math teachers.
Yes. I hold the whole profession. Math teachers, anyone involved in math, I don't like them, Joe. Sorry.
All right.
That's how I roll. Is this a possible career path for you? Is it something that, look, we've all literally have known you since you've been born. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we know you're huge in the sports. So let's go down that road. Who is your favorite? Like, what is your favorite sport? Your favorite team? I know who you like in baseball because we constantly go back and forth on it all the time.
Oh yeah, I gotta say probably to play the sport, I probably gotta say baseball.
Okay.
Just the intensity and just it's hard. Like one of the many things, one of the most hardest things to do in all of sports is to hit a baseball.
Yeah.
And to play and to be coached by just great people and great teammates and just the industry, and it's a good sport. But to watch, I gotta go with basketball. It's just
Okay.
it's fun. The favorite
NBA
game.
guy?
Yep, it's
You
got to
do?
be Golden State and Stephen Curry, just lighting it up still at 36. So.
His age is so heavy basketball. It really is. That's what amazes me is it's that demographic NBA is his age. There's no doubt about it. And that's good for the NBA. The NBA is going to continue to keep growing for a long time. So as far as I mean, you're a Cub fan, right?
Oh yeah.
For baseball.
Mhm.
Okay. We know how that happened. I'll leave it at there. That's why I always prefer your sister over you, but that's okay. That's for another story. Do you miss your sister now that she's in college? It's a little bit different, huh?
Yeah, she's about 2 hours south down in Champaign. Miss her.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. That's good. She probably still slaps you around a little bit when she gets home, but
Oh yeah.
that's
yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna have to deal with that
That's
in
little
about a
brother
week and a
syndrome.
half.
Little brother syndrome. I can relate. I'm
Mhm.
a little brother too. So, do you have? And again, you're just a freshman, so there's no need for an answer. But have you thought about maybe down the road something you'd want to do, or?
Well, I've thought about just like a player in sports, but
Okay.
just I found out that there's many other things that go into a sport besides from playing it.
Yeah, there's.
And this year I just opening up with taking videos or whatever. It's just I look forward to it now. It's just I mean it could be now it's another option for me.
Well, and what's cool now compared to like back in the Stone Age when we started doing it, I mean, for very little cost, you could launch a website, you can launch a podcast, you could do a lot of stuff pretty much on the cheap, and a lot of really professionally, really well done. You'd be hard pressed to know some of these that it's a guy in his basement versus doing it out of a huge studio. So that I think helps a lot. As far as doing games, what's been like? Has anyone run into you yet, or have you tripped on the field? Everyone's got those stories. Joe's got them. I've got them. I've gotten run over almost a couple of times on the sideline. Has that happened to you yet, or no?
So surprisingly, not yet. I've done a good job to stay on the side. Oh god, oh boy,
it's coming. You just,
yeah.
Yep.
I gotta say, I haven't really missed much, but last week at Lincoln Way West,
you're gonna miss stuff. There's no doubt. I do every week.
Oh yeah, I forgot what it was, but there was some big touchdown, and I was down on the field. But usually when I start filming or whatever, I don't really expect, like, I probably got to start doing this more, and I've kind of thought about it, but just I really haven't started, like, when they get the ball or whatever, and it was long touch, maybe like 60 plus yards or something like that, and I missed it.
Yeah, it happens. You'll learn. That's all. That's all you can do. You definitely will learn. Have you heard from people? If people said, see, you wouldn't get that anyway. Scott would probably get that from the Facebook page, but there's been some good stuff. I've seen some of it. And yeah, I mean, people love that stuff. They love seeing him come in and seeing teams come in the field. And it again, as you mentioned, it gives people at home a little bit better of an idea, a little bit better of a feel. And these guys can talk about it all they want, and they do a really good job of painting the picture, but a picture is still a picture.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easier to see it right in front of you versus, theater of the mind and listen to these knuckleheads trying to recreate it. So, Joe, any questions for our new member? Is there some type of hazing? No, wait, we don't do that here.
I talk to him all the time.
I pass the online classes, folks. So I just want to put that out there. So.
What I love about it is that when I start getting on David, Daniel's right there to help me out, help his godfather out.
Always.
Daniel's got my back all the time. So I enjoy him right there with us.
Evan, anything for the young squire here that you want to ask him, or any words of advice, since you're you are the second youngest in the studio.
Yeah. Joe will not be there on Saturday. I'm going to need your help greatly wrangling him.
That's gonna be a biggie.
I'm gonna need your help.
Slip
It's a
'em
monumental
popcorn.
task, and I'm sure we won't be able to live up to Joe's standards, but we have to try.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
we have to
It's
try.
gonna be tough.
That's not too hard.
And
believe me.
Daniel, if you do go on the air Saturday, you have to do Uncle Tim a little favor here, okay?
All right,
You have to say, Coach Joe, unfortunately, is not here tonight.
Mhm.
If everyone can say a prayer for Coach Joe, we would greatly appreciate it. And that's all you have to say. That's
Will
it.
do.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Joe, take care of the rest.
Yeah, well, I'll take care of the rest. All right.
Oh boy. Well, thanks for coming in.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me. This is
I know,
a really fun experience.
I know the station and I know these guys appreciate having you around, and I'm glad you're having a good time with it.
Mhm.
Definitely have fun with it, because that's, believe it or not, I don't know if it looks like it, but we kind of have some fun around here too. And it's nothing better when you get to go out and do stuff and enjoy it and have fun and have a good time with your friends. So yeah, definitely keep having fun.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our new team member of the WJOL sports team. That is Daniel Dwyer. Do you have a time frame for when you're going to take your dad's job or no?
He's got to graduate from high school first.
It's coming. It's coming. You know,
Well, you kids
I mean,
now-
there's already gray hairs blooming on the roof there. So
Yeah, I know. By the way, Joe, kids don't go 4 years of high school anymore. What do you do, like a year and a half and you're done? Or?
yeah, about. That's all you really
Year
need.
and a half early release.
All right, that's hour one in the books. Don't go anywhere. We will have hour number two. You are listening to the quarterfinal edition of 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
County's news, talk, and sports. We're 1340 WJOL.
Official rules for WJOL AM 1340. No purchase is necessary. All contestants must be at least 18 years or older to participate unless specified in contest rules. All state and local, federal, and other taxes and other fees for prizes awarded are the sole responsibility of the winner. Prizes valued over $600 will be issued an IRS 1099 form to report their winnings. All prizes are awarded as is. All entrants and winners agree that the station, Alpha Media LLC, and their affiliates shall have no liability and shall be held blameless for any injury or misfortune or damage to any person or property insured by entering, participating in, winning, or losing any contest by use or non-use of any prize received. All entrants and winners agree that the station may broadcast or publish their name, city of residence, photo, videotape, film, or any other likeness, including their voice, recorded or live for any reason the station deems necessary without compensation. The radio station reserves the right to change the rules for any contest at any time without notice and limit the number of times an individual may enter a contest or drawing. The radio station will not be responsible for busy lines, disconnections, poor connections, computer malfunctions, lost, late, or misdirected emails, faxes, or mail, or any other circumstances. Get a full list of rules at WJOL.com.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL, Joliet.
That Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz is alleged to have had sex with an underage female.
House Ethics Committee investigation, which looked into similar allegations. And it's over the course of that investigation that ABC News has now learned that this woman in question said that Matt Gaetz had sex with her when she was 17 years old, and he was a member of Congress.
ABC's Jay O'Brien, in a statement to ABC News, Gaetz called the allegations invented. President-elect Trump will nominate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Health and Human Services Secretary.
Kennedy, who is not a doctor and has no medical training or public health experience, has endorsed a host of debunked conspiracy theories, including falsely claiming that childhood vaccines cause autism, although numerous high-quality studies say that is not true. Most of the vaccines used today have been used safely for decades, though Kennedy claims otherwise.
ABC's Mary Bruce. It may be the first newly filed case in the 2021 insurrection since the election. The Justice Department charging former Detroit Lions linebacker Leander Williams with engaging in a series of assaults on law enforcement that day. Williams arrested in Savannah, Georgia. He has not yet entered a plea to those charges. The government says Ford didn't move fast enough on a recall and is fining the automaker up to 9 figures.
Ford is going to pay the second largest settlement in the history of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, up to $165 million for moving too slowly on a recall and failing to give accurate recall information. As part of the agreement, Ford must also review and change its recall decision-making process and review all of its recalls from the past 3 years to make sure it recalled enough vehicles.
ABC's Brian Clark. You're listening to ABC News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
This week, the FBI raided a New York City apartment owned by the founder of Polymarket, an online crypto betting forum.
There was a prior agreement with the government that was supposed to prevent U.S.-based users from accessing this platform. The platform allowed U.S. users to improperly bet on things that would happen in the future. It's an event market, events that would happen in the future, like a presidential race, who's going to win. And they weren't supposed to do that.
ABC's Aaron Katersky, attorneys for Shane Copland, blaming politics. Los Angeles swore in a new police chief.
Chief, raise your right hand.
With his right hand raised, law enforcement veteran Jim McDonnell publicly became the 59th police chief of the LAPD.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
McDonnell was somewhat of a surprising choice by Democratic Mayor Karen Bass. McDonnell, a more conservative choice and one who's vowing to get tough on crime with plans to clean up the streets of LA, tackle homelessness and a plague of robberies and burglaries, and to get LA ready for the Olympics in 2028. Alex Stone, ABC News at the LAPD Police Academy.
Tropicana Field, home of baseball's Tampa Bay Rays, was heavily damaged by Hurricane Milton. Repairs won't be complete before 2026 season. And Rays execs have told the Associated Press that the team will play its home games in 2025 next year at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, the spring training facility of the New York Yankees. Seats about 11,000 people. I'm Richard Cantu, ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded and booked in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
And it begins. Who will be there in November lifting the championship trophy over their heads? Likely the team that paid the price through detailed preparation. For 6 straight years, the Malloy State Farm team has lifted the Best of Will County trophy because we paid the price through a detailed review process done on a weekly basis for each customer. When was the last time you heard from your insurance person? Maybe call the Malloy State Farm team at 815-463-5800 for your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, the Malloy team is there.
Get everything you need for your next project at Menards. No matter your style, Shaw has a vinyl plank flooring option for you. It's durable, easy to install, and even easier to maintain. Plus, it's waterproof, making it perfect for any room in your home. Save big money on Shaw vinyl plank flooring. And check out the weekly flyer for all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using hair growth saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Hi, it's Dawn Coletta, owner of Elegance Underneath in Naperville. For over 16 years, Elegance Underneath has been helping women of all sizes and shapes find a great, comfortable bra thanks to their True Fit fitting. What better way to celebrate spending quality time with family than having a girls' day? Yes, a bra fitting really can be fun with the people that support you best. At Elegance Underneath, we carry the latest colors, styles, and fashions, plus a selection of shapewear panties and more. Our team will provide you with a compassionate setting and leave you feeling empowered and beautiful. 'Tis the season to be grateful, and our small business is grateful for you. All new customers always enjoy a discount on all full price merchandise, and no appointments are needed. Stop in to see us Tuesday through Sunday. We can't wait to help you find your perfect fit and embrace your personal style. Like Elegance Underneath on Facebook, and visit us on the northwest corner of Route 59 and 95th Street in Naperville.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. And coach, this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by our tremendous sponsors, State Farm agents John Wright and Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Our broadcast schedule is Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff, Joliet Catholic at Peoria. Folks, you are going to Peoria Stadium, historic stadium in the lovely city of Peoria. Recently renovated. I'm very interested to hear what you guys, Evan and Dewey, have to say about it. I've heard they did a tremendous job upgrading it, especially if you would have seen it before the upgrade. You, from what I'm hearing, you'll be very surprised. So again, that'll be our game of the week. Joe?
Yes, sir.
Another big game in the area Saturday. It's a 1:00 kickoff. It is Dixon, the Dukes, making the trip down from lovely Dixon to take on the Kohlers of Coal City. And joining us is the head coach of Coal City, Francis Laughrin. And Coach, welcome aboard. And as I've mentioned to the other coaches, man, it's sure nice talking to you in mid-November.
Yes.
Oh, no doubt. Thanks for having me. It's always good when you know you're flipping on the lights about 4:30 and getting to practice under the lights every night. So a little rain last night, but that was a good rain. So I'm glad to be practicing, not practicing.
Yeah, it's. I was going to ask you about that feel. That is it really seeping in that it's getting later and later in the year, and you're out there and it's just you and really no one else. It's got to be just a great feeling.
Oh, it's a great feeling, and the kids feel it too. The practices last couple of weeks have gotten even better, more intense, just because of the time of year, and also our sophomores dressing up with us. It's been really fun.
I gotta imagine you gotta feel good. I know you got off to a little bit of a slow start last week up in Boylan, but to come back from there with a win, that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, up at their place, the storied tradition with Boylan. We started off pretty well in the first quarter, stumbled a little bit in the second. But going into halftime, I felt the confidence of our guys never wavered, made some adjustments, and really were able to wear them down in the second half. It was really good to see. We scored on every possession. Landon had 5 touchdowns. Again, our O-line played great. Guys like Cade Pointer going both ways, Will Jonkey, Wyatt Kane, Brody DeRazio, just, across the board, just a really physical effort.
Francis, I don't know if you remember, but we did the Wilmington game, and after the game, I went up to you and you were talking to your coaches. I shook your hand and said, "It's a good game." I said, "You guys are I don't know if you remember this, but I said you guys are pretty good." And I thought you would at least win one game, and now you're going into the third week of the playoffs. So I always thought, and we come here on Thursday nights, and I would tell Edgy, I said, the Kohlers are going to be okay. Remember, I said, you guys are going to be all right. You guys are okay. And you've proven that over the last 2 weeks. And and we know about Landon and touchdowns in 2 games. That's unbelievable to me. But I like the way that the young man runs the football. And as you mentioned, the offensive line. And I noticed too that Xander threw for like 141 yards or 145 yards last week. So the passing game is starting to click a little bit too.
No doubt. He had back-to-back 200-yard games a couple weeks ago. I do remember after the Wilmington game, it's always good to hear that, especially coming off a loss, and just seeing our guys respond after that Wilmington game. The great thing with our passing game is the number of receivers that can do something with the ball in their hands, and that's something that Xander does very well. He doesn't lock in on just one receiver. We've got guys like Gabe McHugh, Dylan Young, Logan Natashak, Brody Wlowski, just guys that rotate in, including Gavin Berger. That there's a lot for the defenses to have to account for.
Yeah, I again looking at Boylan, I had a chance to see them earlier in the year, and again, people had asked me about them, and I'm like, look, okay, it's not the Boylan of 15, 20 years ago. Obviously, the enrollment's down, but it is still a really good program and a really good football team. And again, I've got to imagine where did that one land on the physicality standpoint for you, Coach?
Oh, from the get-go, the physicality on both sides.
Yeah.
You knew early on it was going to be a battle that day, and taking a look at them throughout the week of scouting there, you saw the good size they had, and on film and looking at the roster, and in person, you thought, this is a real good sized team. They got the one kid going to Eastern.
Yeah, Baron Scholl. I've gotten to know him through recruiting circles. So yeah, really good two-way player.
Fantastic player. They had some linebackers, and there was some good hitting going on, and it really felt like an old school football game to me. And I thought our guys went toe to toe, and were fortunate enough to pull ahead there.
Yeah, and moving on to this week with Dixon, I had a chance to see Dixon earlier. Look at me all over 4A, huh, Coach Joe? Look at that.
You're all over it.
Had a chance to see Dixon in an unbelievable game against Byron, and I got to imagine you might have looked at that game tape a couple of times getting ready.
You'd be correct there, sir. So obviously, even during the season, without us, knowing we'd end up seeing each other, that was the kind of game I think most people that know IHSA football, that was a game circled on the calendar. And to see Dixon go toe to toe with the Byron team, we know how talented are, just shows how talented Dixon is. They return a lot, both sides of the ball from the previous year. They got the All-State quarterback and Cullen Shaner. They've got talent. So, and the thing that probably gets overlooked a little bit is their physicality. And so we've been trying to preach that throughout the week. They're 10-1 for a reason, and we can't really. Saturday's over. That was a nice win for us, but Saturday's over, and we got a very good Dixon team coming down here, and we're just trying to clean everything up and be ready to go for them.
Yeah, but boy, what a nice feeling having them coming there.
Yes.
Oh, without a doubt. It for as many years as I've been here in Coal City, the community support is fantastic. You can't say enough about the parent involvement, the student body, how much they support the football team. So our guys love playing at home. And, when we kind of figured out, if we win against Boylan, we'll be back at home. Our guys are pretty hyped up for it.
Oh yeah.
No, I bet.
No doubt. What concerns you? You mentioned Shaner, the quarterback, and their physicality. Is there anything in particular that you feel you guys have got to get done to win that game on Saturday?
Yeah, just taking a look at it from our defensive side, they've got a number of playmakers as well.
Yeah.
The running back, number 4 there, he's a good physical runner, plays linebacker as well. We know we're going to have to try and keep him in check. They got a very good offensive line, some decent size with their guards, and we know that the line of scrimmage is going to be huge, and that gets heightened each week in the playoffs. The receivers on the outside, Simpson and Rowley, we have it. They can go with a shallow passing game. They can hit you with crossers, deep balls. So getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be key. And then defensively, they're very sound, very physical. They've only given up about 10 points a game, so they're a little stingy on that side too. I'm sure the offense gets a lot of credit, but that defense is tough. And so we're going to have to, on the offensive side, have our old line play just as well, if not better, than last week.
Yeah, and again, I look back at that Dixon Byron game, and they really had them back on their heels that first half. I really thought Dixon was going to pull off that win, and then obviously Byron able to make a couple of adjustments and finally crack open some runs. But they're a team, coach, and you've seen this on tape too. They're not backing down from anyone, and their physicality is what stood out to me, that they were able to go toe to toe with a really good Byron team. So again, yeah, I think it's going to be a great game, and go land and go.
Yeah,
give him that ball and never give it back.
No, I mean, you want to. I'm so sure your game just to limit their possessions.
Yeah,
and you got a guy back there, and with the passing game a little bit, that's going to be definitely a key to winning this game on Saturday.
No doubt. We love Landon. We love everything he does, but getting other guys involved is definitely key, because we've seen in the past where if we just rely on Landon, we become one dimensional. So everyone's going to get involved. Everyone's in the game plan, and we've got to take advantage of opportunities. If they're going to give us something, we got to take it. They can't just be giving the ball to Landon and hoping for the best. So I think we've got a great game plan going in. I feel confident in our guys, and I think our guys are confident in themselves.
Talk about the rest and rehab portion at this time of the year. Is there a cold tub named after Landon, or talk about what your kids go through to get ready from week to week, and obviously this time of year everyone's banged up and bruised.
Yeah, I think just in general, it's a lot more mental reps. What's nice is, as we shifted from Friday games to Saturday now 2 weeks in a row, giving us that extra day to rest.
Yeah. Yep.
And just work on that game plan rather than just the physicality. We kind of pick and choose our spots when to ramp it up a little bit, but right now it's about staying fresh for game day and not beating ourselves up during the week. So just being smart and more or less knowing the game plan for that week and executing assignments is more so with practice than the physical part.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, should be a terrific game on Saturday down at Coal City at 1 o'clock kickoff. The Kohlers hosting Dixon. I know they have a little fun with their entrance at home. I'm gonna guess they're probably not gonna try to pull that off on the road, but you never know. You never know. They got this purple smoke thing that they got going on when they do their entrance. But yeah, your security will take care of it, I'm sure. So, Coach, best of luck.
Yes,
Go
good
get them
luck.
on Saturday. And again, as I've told the other coaches, I hope we have at least one more week to hassle you. Who knows? Maybe a couple more.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck,
All right,
Francis.
Coach. All right, Francis Laughrin joining us from Coal City, Joe, and that's going to be a great ball game.
It
really is.
It is.
Again, I was really impressed with Dixon. I thought Dixon should have won that game against Byron. I really did. They had them up against the ropes, and great teams figure a way, and Byron figured a way at the last quarter and finally got things clicking. But yeah, just that's a really good team coming to town.
And I mentioned we were on Saturday when we found out that Montini went ahead, and with a minute to go, I said, well, Byron's going to score a touchdown.
Yep.
And they're going to go for 2 points. And that's going to decide the game. And that's exactly what
no hesitation whatsoever on the Byron side.
No.
I mean, it was Dewey and I were looking at one another when he was
I sent him
that.
the video of the 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
So he didn't even know he had the video.
I mean, they scored and he went, there's a minute left. He goes, Byron will score and go for 2. And Dewey and I are looking at one another. We're like, they haven't scored all game, and they run like a power running.
Next thing you know,
offense.
14-13, going for 2.
They're not gonna get down the field that quick. And sure enough, right down the field, and we're here. They're going for 2, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Nope.
I know. Because that's
Half
happened to our
yard.
teams around here.
Missed it by a half yard.
A half yard.
Yeah. Yep. Kid literally fell just short of the goal line. I got the video. So
Yeah, it was kind of like a counter play.
yeah,
They were going.
it was a wing counter
wing
basically.
counter, yeah.
And number one's their main guy in that play, and just came up short.
Oof.
Yep.
Great game though, man.
Yeah.
Atmosphere was unreal. I had a blast.
Well, hearing just all the things, the fireworks. I mean, when you're telling me, you're like, they spent a
The
small fortune on
fireworks and the horse
saw
and
the
the
horse
hookers and the
coming
fire
out. Yeah, I did
trucks
see
and
that too. Yeah.
So it was an unbelievable. And again, I think the coach that has the hardest job this week is Coach Boo from Montini, because he's got to get his kids back up ready to play.
Yeah.
Because that was a state title atmosphere. And this is what I love. I'm going to share this story. I know we're running a little bit late. You know what? I'll share I'll share it for 740. No, I'll share it for 740. We're just going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go back out to the phone lines. Jaws, Jake Jorski. We can't keep him waiting. He's Jake Jorski. You are listening to the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
And it begins. Who will be there in November lifting a championship trophy over their heads? Likely the team that paid the price through detailed preparation. For 6 straight years, the Malloy State Farm team has lifted the Best of Will County trophy because we paid the price through a detailed review process done on a weekly basis for each customer. When was the last time you heard from your insurance person? Maybe call the Malloy State Farm team at 815-463-5800 for your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, the Malloy team is there.
Miller Lite presents your Chicago football game day headquarters, Jameson's Pub in Frankfort. This Sunday, catch all the game day action at Jameson's in Frankfort as Green Bay travels to Chicago. You'll find $3 Miller Lite and Coors Light bottles, $4 Miller Lite and Coors Light drafts, food specials on wings, sliders, and chicken sandwiches, and all the game day action on 45 flat screens throughout the bar. Jameson's Pub, 9545 West St. Francis Road, Frankfort. Online at thejamesonspub.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at nordiccusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Your clients and customers are the lifeblood of your business. You already know that. So let's give them the best this year. Give them Dan's Homemade Candies. Dan's Homemade Candies fills beautiful boxes with your favorite selections of their delicious homemade chocolate, made fresh daily right in Joliet, with the richest, finest ingredients. Dan's has several different sizes to choose from, and you can customize what goes into those boxes, from mouthwatering mint meltaways, dandies, truffles, or nut clusters, just to name a few options. Or grab a bag of caramel corn, or cheese corn, or even old-fashioned hard candy. Whatever works for your budget and your tastes. And corporate discounts are available, so call for your company today. Make this Christmas season a win-win for you, your clients, and a locally owned, locally operated business. Call Dan's Homemade Candies with 2 locations in Joliet, 229 East Cass and 1003 Plainfield Road.
Hi, this is Kathy Carosa from the Polkas on Tour radio show. Bruce and I would like you to join us every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here on WJOL 1340 AM. Will County's News, Talk, and Sports.
Ring out a song of the cheering and a song of the cheer. Now the time will roll the barrel for the gang's all here.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Radagaro and Evan Bredesen behind, spinning the dials and taking care of us here. We always appreciate his hard work. Joe, I think we're going to have another employee I think we're going to have on the show next week. So we're going to have to work on that. That will not be an easy booking.
No,
that'll be a difficult. There's gonna be a lot of negotiations going on in that booking. But in the meantime, back out to the phone lines. The head coach of your Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers, Jake Jorski, joins us and takes a moment from a very busy night at the school. So, Jaws, we appreciate you taking a few moments.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
I
Love
tell
the
you-
polka music.
I
That's what
tell
we do.
I tell you what, we'll have that ready for you next time.
Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah.
I have enjoyed this playoff run maybe as much as any I've had in a while, and have watched, because you've played nothing but downstate teams so far, and the stories these downstate people are writing about your team, Jaws. The Springfield paper people made it sound like Godzilla came to town Saturday.
I read that too.
And you know, what are they doing with these kids? Excuse me, it's called a weight room. We can show you where they're at. Do your kids lift weights? Jaws has been unbelievable.
Jaws, in the Springfield Journal, the first sentence mentioned Francis Rudiger.
Yeah.
The first sentence mentioned Francis Rudiger. And I'm going, okay.
And what gets me, and I'm sure it gets you too, but you're class enough to say it, but I'm not, is that, these kids work really hard all year long. I mean, yeah, they're in the weight room a lot, and it shows. And that's all, Jaws. I had to get that off the top of my head, but it's been very entertaining.
That's it's the lifeblood of our program. And
Right.
Francis, I mean, this goes back to like Tom Thayer playing at Joliet Catholic and lifting in, Rudy's garage in the 70s, to then, Francis taking over kind of full time as our strength and conditioning guy, like in '97 under Dan Sharp. And what he does with our kids is unbelievable. It's a lot of old school, just kind of getting after it, pushing heavy weight. And, sometimes that people want to question it, like, there's new age in training and, should be doing more agility stuff and this and that. But when you're dealing with high school kids, the goal for Rudy is to get them stronger. People think, powerlifting and my kid's going to walk out of there and, I'll be all muscle bound. When you get stronger, you're going to get faster. You're going to get more explosive. And just the commitment he has to our kids, the environment he creates, it's contagious. It's contagious. And year after year, when we lost last year in the finals, that was on Saturday. On Monday, we had over 45 kids back in the gym, getting after it.
I believe it.
And I just talked to Rudy this morning. We had a noon dismissal today because of open house, and I talked to him around 12 o'clock, and he was on his way to the gym because the senior guys were saying, hey, we need to get over there to get a workout in before practice starts. And that's just a credit to Rudy and what he's built in our program, and then it's a credit to our kids, for wanting to do it, buying into it, and then holding each other accountable.
Yeah,
too. So I can't.
No doubt.
And it's a difference. It does make a difference. It's the culture builder of a program.
And look, if it's no great mystery, and knowing Rudy, as long as I've known Rudy, you know what? Send your strength and conditioning guy over to Rudy and see what Rudy does, and have him. And knowing Rudy will work with anyone. Rudy will help anybody if they ask him. And it's no great mystery. It's just a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work, and like you said, the offensive line coach from Sacred Heart Griffin reached out to me late Sunday night and was looking for Rudy's number. They had linked up because we have a little bit of a history playing Sacred Heart and Ken Leonard and the O-line. They had come up, maybe 15 years ago and checked out Rudy's place and whatnot. But he reached out like Sunday night, like, we got to get back with some stuff down here. I'd love to catch up with Rudy. And I talked to Rudy the next day. He's like, that guy messaged me already too. So, and it's not just Joliet Catholic kids either. I mean, he has kids from all over.
Oh, I know. Right.
The Will County area that will work out with their programs at school, and then those kids come on over and want to be a part of the gym too. So, he's just what he's done for so many kids in the Will County area. It's unbelievable. And not just from a physical standpoint either. There's a lot of mental growth and work ethic, perseverance, pushing yourself to achieve things your body could do. So I can't say. I mean, Francis loved the guy to death.
Yeah, and the best part of it for me is you would be hard pressed to. You would have to search out those kids because Rudy's not a me guy.
No,
not at all.
Right.
He just works with who comes through the door.
That's it.
So, all right. Well, Godzilla hits the road again Saturday.
Just like the Red Russian Army.
going down to Peoria. By the way, very interested in what you guys think of the renovated Peoria Stadium, because everything I've heard, they've done a terrific job with it. So at least you got a nice facility to go to. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were there last year. We probably don't remember the story, but we had quite a travel day last year.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
And
yep.
So we didn't get a chance to really enjoy all the scenery last year of it. So hopefully we can get down there a little bit earlier this year. But the facility was awesome. You know, it was great, and look forward to going down there again this year.
Gotta imagine. Just naturally, it's an advantage having played them a year ago. Just having a feel for what they do and how they do it.
Yeah, totally. You know, they thrive on putting pressure on the opponent. You know, like from onside kicking.
I was going to ask, are they still doing that?
Last year we saw them do it a lot more. Like it was almost every single kick. This year they've seen a little bit more kicking the ball a little bit further down the field, but we're expecting to have onside kicks.
Yeah.
You know, they got 11 guys on the line of scrimmage on defense looking to attack, shoot gaps, create chaos, and then on offense, you know, they got a number of kids that can, you know, score anytime they touch the ball. And I mean, you'll see them go for it on 4th and 18 from their own 12-yard line.
Right.
You know, they're just always full, you know, pedal to the metal type of team. So, you know, we're going to have our hands full, that's for sure.
What I was able to see on tape, you know, and again, it's a new head coach, but someone obviously that had been in the system, Tim Thornton. I don't see much change. Do you?
No, it's a lot of the same things. And I know when the coach, I think it's Coach Montgomery, when he took over, he said he only wanted to ramp things up even more. You know, and you definitely see that on film.
Defensively, Jaws, you know, we did the Jacksonville game and the game last week, and I think I read where you guys got 7 sacks last week. We talked about the physicality, not only with offense, but you know, I looked at the defense and the physical nature of the defense. I think it's a product of the schedule that you guys played this year. And when you play teams in the playoffs, the last 2 teams in this Peoria team, the physical aspect of it, these guys might be bigger than, let's say, Sacred Heart or Jacksonville had a pretty good team. But when I'm seeing, you know, guys getting off the ball, and you talked about not only the physicality of strength, but with quickness. And the defensive line in the first game did an outstanding job with the linebackers and in keeping that running game in check. And I'm sure they did the same thing last week in Springfield. And that's what you have to probably get this week because of the explosiveness of that offense.
Right. You know, we're going to have to, you know, limit the big plays because that's what these guys have is they have speed. So, you know, and sometimes that can neutralize some physicality and some size. But they do have a 385-pound guard that moves pretty well.
Yeah, I know him.
For a guy that big. But you're right. You know, I think even throughout the course of the season, we've been callous through, you know, the ups and downs of our season, and it was a great test. Like I think I've mentioned it before on here. I think that was the toughest regular season.
Yeah, it had to be one of them.
I think in the Sun Times final Week 9 rankings or Week 10 rankings, I think we had played 5 of the top 15 teams, which is insane. And you know, we learned a lot. We persevered. We got through some tough times, and you know, put ourselves in position to, you know, kind of be hitting on all cylinders as we hit the playoffs, and it just carried over. We're a pretty senior laden team, and you know, these guys are a joy to be around every single day. You know, it's a group that the senior group that's pretty tight, and we've been talking about this group for a while, just how special they are. You know, they got a real close knit. They hang out a lot on you know, outside of football, outside of school. We got a lot of guys that are multi-sport athletes too, that have had a lot of success in other sports. And I think that definitely has carried over to football, you know, and we're just enjoying every minute we get with these guys.
Yeah, again, you mentioned the multi-sport thing. I totally agree, Joe. We've said for years, success follows success. There is no doubt in my mind that that's a key, and you've gotten that obviously this year on the football side as well. I want to ask you about
we've had, you know, baseball players. You know, we've had baseball players. You know, quarterback Lucas Simlick, Zach Tomato, Keegan Formas, guys that Zach Beitler that have been in state championship games, wrestling. We got guys that are wrestlers. So yeah, it's they've had success too. So right, these guys they just live on competition.
Two things real quick. First, I want to get your thoughts on a kid that I've watched all year, and I've been really impressed with his development. I think his recruiting stock is starting to pick up a bit. Ian Campbell.
Yeah. So Ian, kind of a long defensive end, about 6'3", 235 pounds, still growing. Just like a fierce competitor. You talk about a guy that's got a motor and just loves to compete. Another guy, he's an upper 80s, 90-mile-an-hour pitcher, in baseball as well. So just again another one of those multi-sport athletes. But he's had a great year for us. He was named the offensive lineman of the year in our division of the conference. But just a guy that he gets off the ball. He's got long arms and just has a great feel coming off the edge.
And then the other thing I want to ask, just your thoughts on just the recruiting process in general. Jaws, it gets stranger and stranger with recruiting, and this year has been one of the quietest in-season recruiting years I can remember. You've got a lot of good seniors on that roster that should be playing college football next year. Is it just me? As things slowed down this year? What's going on from that aspect?
Yeah, I think that when you look at the last couple of years, it really has slowed down, which stinks. It stinks for our kids. We'll probably have 8 to 12 kids, maybe, go on and play college football. There's still a lot of opportunities out there, but I think there's definitely like a trickle down effect from the higher level on down where everybody's kind of wait and see mode, with the portal and. College coaches, they've straight up told me, especially at the Division I level, MAC schools, that, years past, they used to take 25 high school seniors, and now they might take 10 to 15.
Yeah.
So it's, we got at least 1 or 2 linemen that, like, when I started as the head coach 8 years ago, that no doubt would at least be having MAC offers at this point, and, just hasn't really happened. And it's been really quiet. It's been really quiet. Now, some guys are starting to reach out. We've had some guys visit practice and whatnot, and things will pick up in December a little bit. But the recruiting landscape has definitely changed for high school kids.
Yeah, it's no doubt. And and someone had asked me like, well, how do you determine a level for a kid now? And I just tell them, I go, well, I see a kid, and you've got a couple of linemen right off the top. I'm saying, look. Years past, I'd say the same thing. I'd say they're a MAC level kid. Now, with the way things have gone, you cut that number in half, and that's kind of how it's gone.
Right, and the rosters at the college level are so fluid that they don't even know what that roster is going to look like.
Right,
in a couple weeks, at the end of the semester, so they don't even know exactly what they're working with, from a scholarship standpoint or. Position specific, what they're recruiting, whether they're taking, schools used to take 5 offensive linemen. Now they might take 1 or 2, and I think that's happened a couple times with some area kids in the last year where some kids have ended up gray shirting or being asked to gray shirt, that thought they were going the Division I route. And, I feel really bad for the kids. That's for sure.
Yeah, same here. Jaws, again, appreciate you taking time. I know it's a busy night for you, so we will let you go. But again, just best of luck and go get one on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Good luck,
Jaws.
Appreciate
it, guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Edge.
All right, buddy. Jaws. All right, Jake Jorski joins us, and again, that is our game of the week. Joliet Catholic at Peoria, lovely Peoria Stadium on Saturday, and looking forward. That should be another interesting game for sure. But Joe. I think the Hillman advance.
I think so too.
All right, we'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll go down the playoff brackets and give us your thoughts. We'll give you our thoughts. This is the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Keeping you comfortable in your home all year round is our first priority. Hi, this is Rick Cronholm, president of Johansson & Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. We also like to prevent emergency issues from ever happening. No one wants a broken furnace on the coldest night of the year, or an air conditioning that gives up on the hottest day. That's why more and more Johansson and Anderson customers are taking advantage of our Comfort Club. Your furnace and AC are scheduled and checked before their season, kind of like a regular dental appointment. And we keep your whole system in top running condition all year long. Of course, if some emergency does happen, our Comfort Club members get priority service and discounted repairs, even if it is the hottest day of the year. If your family's home needs heating and air conditioning, call the name you can trust for 75 years, Johansson and Anderson. Call J&A today, sleep tight tonight. Johansson and Anderson, a York certified comfort expert.
Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My boss at the time was a guy who had the most Scottish name I have ever heard of in my life. His name was, and I'm not kidding, Willie Macbeth. Like, I'm Scottish, I think that's a bit too Scottish. Willie Macbeth. Sounds like a Shakespearean porn site.
From the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson and the Drew Carey Show, Craig Ferguson, The Pants on Fire Tour, November 17th, Rialto Square Theater. Tickets are on sale now at rialtosquare.com or in person at the Rialto box office.
At Curry Motors Ford of Frankfort, we're redefining convenience. Say goodbye to the hassle of car maintenance interrupting your busy schedule. Our expert team will pick up and deliver your Ford for service. Loaner cars are also available, and our mobile service van can perform routine maintenance at your home or office. Plus, with over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available, we make car shopping easy. Get 0% APR financing on select new Ford models. Shop 24/7 at curryford.com today.
Term length may vary. See dealer for details.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Join me, Scott Slocum of WJOL at Hooters in Joliet this Sunday, November 17th from noon to 2 as the Monsters of the Midway take on their hated rival from up north. Come by to enter a chance to win a jersey of your favorite quarterback this Sunday at Hooters of Joliet.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Radiguero and Evan Bredesen. We're phone lines open, 815-254-7300. Appreciate you hanging in there with us, and hope you enjoyed the show. A lot of good guests, Joe.
Yes.
Great to have the coaches on. You want to just go through brackets? Should we do that? All right, let's start in 8A. Get that microphone warmed up there, Evan. Here we go. You ready? Stevenson at Lincoln Way East. Thoughts?
East.
Evan?
East.
East. It's like Bears. Bears.
No, it's not.
Maine South at Loyola, boys.
I'm not going to go against Loyola. I'm picking Loyola. As much as this is going to be a great game.
Evan?
Loyola.
I can't pick against Loyola. As much as I like Maine South this year, I can't pick against Loyola. Let's ask Bob who he's picking. Bob, Loyola, Maine South. Who you got?
I'm taking Iowa.
Loyola.
Okay. I thought he said Iowa for a second.
I thought he said Iowa too. Are they on my bracket?
Hey, thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Heading down to Peoria. You all set to go?
Yeah, I just was wondering, do they play a schedule like we do?
I'm sorry.
No, they don't. No, they don't play the schedule at the Hilltop.
No, not even close.
Not even close.
No, you'd have to go compare to the Big Ten probably to get schools that play comparable schedule to JCA.
Great speed.
That's going to give us a little edge, right?
Yeah, but great speed though. Great speed.
Yeah,
out
real
Peoria.
good speed, but I mean, I think, Joe, it's kind of a lot of the same game plan of last year.
Yes.
You don't give them the ball back, and you get a couple of quick 3-and-outs and make them drive the field, and hopefully they'll turn it over and you guys take advantage.
Yep, I agree.
But they have some explosiveness. That's a concern, no doubt. It's been a nice run though so far.
Yep. We hope we keep it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
No doubt. I have a feeling, and we talked a little bit about this. I have a feeling you win this one. I think you'll come back and play Morgan Park at the stadium. That's my feel. I know all you guys want Morris. I don't think Morris is going to beat Morgan Park at Gately. I think Morgan Park's good enough to beat them. So that's not a bad semifinal. That's a good game, but I think it's a winnable game for you as well.
Yep.
All right, sir.
All
Great
right,
to hear
Bob.
from you.
Have a safe trip, buddy.
Yep. Have a good night.
All right, Bob. We'll go out to Greg from Tinley. Hello, Greg.
Hey, guys. Happy Thursday night.
Yeah, you
Yes,
too.
sir.
You too. Did you go anywhere last week?
That you get, it's, it was a worrisome first half. I think I got a couple of points I want to make, and then you can tell me what you think.
Fire away.
I think Mr. Williams, our quarterback, is waiting a little bit too long. He's you can throw receivers open, and I think he's waiting until the guy gets open and then trying to deliver the ball.
Is this Jonas Williams or Caleb Williams? Which Williams are you talking about?
Yeah, right. No, Jonas, of course. But I'm up in the stands watching it. He's down there in the field dodging guys. So obviously, it's not the same perspective. But I think he's trying to be a little bit too careful there. And the other thing is, if Manuka was, like Coach mentioned earlier, if Manuka did one thing right, they upset East up front with their defense, And I think it's because they play pass first now. They're not worrying about the East running attack anymore. And I don't understand that.
Fair.
Because they got two good running backs in Gist and Gish. And, they should be running the ball more. That's my feeling on the game.
It's not a couple of bad observations there.
Yeah,
Greg,
very good.
For
yes,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a lot of talk. And, the great thing is you play that way and you still won, 38-7? Yeah. So, again.
Yeah.
No, I know.
But,
I know.
They were their defense, like Coach said, they just, stuffed Manuka's offense. And so it was 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. But if you do that against a good offense is going to get some first downs, and it's going to be much more competitive. It was a worry. I could see why the coaches, Evan said the coaches were.
Oh, they were not happy. No,
they were upset.
No, they were not happy. Not at all.
I wasn't too happy either. They gotta up it a little bit if they're going to be state champions.
Well, let's see what happens tomorrow night. That's what I'm excited to see, how well they come out. I have a feeling they're going to be incredibly sharp tomorrow night.
No, let's hope so.
Yep. All right, Greg. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, good talking to you guys.
All right,
Have a good
Greg.
week.
Back out to the phone lines. The other Bob joins us.
Boy.
Hello,
Hi.
other Bob.
Hello, fellas. How you doing?
Doing fine. How are you?
Good. Hey, your conversation with Jaws concerning the recruiting got me to thinking.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, Edgy, you and I had a conversation about how the COVID years were affecting the recruiting.
Yep.
And how we thought if I remember correctly, we kind of thought it was going to curb itself.
We did.
After all the COVID guys got done.
We did. It hasn't.
But now we have to throw in the free agency base.
It's the portal.
It's the portal, Bob.
It's the transfer. It's the availability of being able to recruit college-ready guys that already have college game on tape versus bringing in high school kids and developing them for 2 to 3 years. That's what's happening.
Lane Kiffin literally said on the radio yesterday on ESPN with Paul Feinbaum, said came out and pretty much said, I'm not really interested in recruiting high school kids unless it's a top-tier talent at a position of need or a position of skill. He
That's
said,
about it.
Other than that, he goes, I want 20, 21, 22-year-olds who are ready. So there you have a premier SEC program, one of the best top 15 college football programs in the country. Their head coach is openly saying, I don't want to recruit high school kids. I mean, that's the reality of the situation right now.
And Bob, the other appeal now is kids that, like we talked to Jaws, there are a couple of linemen there I think could play in the MAC. But what's happening now is the MAC aren't offering half as many as they used to. And kids like that are winding up at FCS and Division II, and they're eyeing, okay, hey, I have a good year, I'm gone. And that's happening literally every year now where the FCS, the Easterns and the Southerns and the Western Illinois of the world, you get a freshman or a sophomore that has a really good year on tape, they're gone. They're getting NIL money and they're moving up and they're playing at a bigger level. And a lot of that's going on, Bob.
That was going to be one of my questions. Not only the quote-unquote free agency, but the NIL. How do you think that's affecting it?
Oh, tremendously.
Big time.
Evan, how much is Nebraska spending roughly in NIL?
Ooh.
That we know of.
Well, I can tell you their quarterback, Dylan Raiola, is a freshman. He's making on his own about between 1.5 and 2 is the rumor.
Right.
And they just landed a 5-star who flipped from Alabama today. It's believed they broke open the checkbook from him, and they're breaking open the checkbook for a couple other kids they're trying to flip. They're being targeted about it, but no, they're spending north of 5 on their whole roster. I mean, Ohio State spent 20.
Yep. I believe it. So there you go, Bob.
Well, it's the same.
It is. It is, but you know what? We all keep watching college football.
That's right.
That hasn't changed.
No.
But I would like to see some of these kids get more of a chance.
Yeah, I know. So would I.
Just a shame.
All right, Bob, we're going to let you go, but thanks for calling.
Take care, Bob.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Have someone watching online shouting out to a very old friend of mine. Well, he's always been old, but he's known him for many, many years. Skip Pearson, Skippy Bulldog, one of the biggest fans of Richards Bulldog football for decades. And Leonard Scott, thank you for shouting out. Please tell Skippy, give him all my best because he's one of the good guys, no doubt about it. Gotten to know him for many, many years, and I was hoping to get to Richards on Saturday. Unfortunately, I got some stuff going on at the house, so I had to go with a different game, but go Bulldogs.
Yes.
So,
and you talk about, the transfer portal and NIL and scholarships. You mentioned the MAC not offering as many. We've heard from MAC coaches at NIU. The coaching staff there has discussed it. I know Joel Moorhead at Akron has talked about it. Miami of Ohio, their coach flat out called out Alabama and said they called our kicker and paid him to have him leave, causing a huge controversy between Miami of Ohio and Alabama, which wasn't on my scorecard for this year.
No, me neither.
But you have MAC coaches who are saying they don't want to offer as many kids because they know if I play a freshman and he does even halfway decent, he's gone.
Yep.
Even at the lower tier Big Ten or SEC teams, Jeff Libby at Mississippi State, he said teams are already calling his guys.
This has been happening in basketball for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Where, I'm a big mid-major fan, SIU guy, especially when it comes to basketball and football. But in basketball, we had a guy that had a tremendous freshman year, gone next year.
Well, there was an article that I read where Bill O'Brien's at Boston College.
Correct.
He had a starting quarterback for the first 6-7 games, whatever. Yep. They replaced the quarterback. He's having a bad game. They replaced him with this other kid. The kid brought him back and won. The starting quarterback for the first 5-6 games just picked up and left. He said, I'm going someplace else now.
And he's already entered the transfer portal.
Yes.
So.
And Bill O'Brien and other coaches have said, now that puts me in a catch-22 because now I'm in a spot where if you're struggling and the best thing I can do for the team is bring in a reliever and say, hey, you just need to sit. And then his reaction to it was so poor that they're like, you're not starting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the way we do things here. And then it's, all right, fine, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And it's, well, I guess I can't coach him hard. anymore. I mean, it's
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But guys, I think the thing we need to understand, it's not college football anymore.
No, it's not.
Pro football.
It's a business.
It's minor league football.
Yep. There it is. Minor league football.
I don't even know if you can technically even call it minor league because you're talking professional.
Pretty big money.
I mean, these 18-year-old quarterbacks are making more than any minor leaguer is making.
Yeah, that's true
Well,
too.
The money's a lot bigger too.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So all that stuff SMU got the black ball for, it's
It's
all
legal.
good now.
Yep.
Well,
they gave what's his name is Reggie Bush. They gave him the Heisman.
Yeah.
That's one of the interesting things. You talk about SMU, and we see how well they're doing this year. And one of the reasons why is all of the Dallas oil money that for years the school had to keep out because of the death penalty. They go, we can't even be associated with you guys anymore. Now it's please come in. And Joe, the money flooding into SMU is unreal.
Yes, I bet it is.
Unreal what SMU is building down there. Just because now all that money they had to keep away or do under the table, now it's wide out in the open. And nobody does it better wide out in the open than Texas.
No, that's for sure.
They are proud.
They're proud
the
to show
treated,
you. They're proud to show you too.
years.
Yes, they're proud to show you.
Very proud.
Oh,
it went from a brown paper bag behind a building to now let's put it out on Twitter.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
legal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Gosh.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Again, thanks for listening, everybody. I hate to tell you what. We have, technically 2 more shows left. We really have 1 more show left next week. And then we do the wrap-up show in December, which at this point might be mid-December. You notice the last day of the season is November 30th. So, but yeah, so we'll be back next week. Hopefully, what do we say? 4, 5?
4 get through.
We're saying 4 probably get through. So we're looking forward to that. So again, for Coach Joe, for Evan, I'm EDGYTIM. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Get out to the game, and we'll talk to you next week. So you have listened to the quarterfinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports. Good night, everybody.
Official rules for WJOL.